everyone, and welcome to episode 84 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, where this episode should be a really fun episode because we should reach level 80 today as we explore the Straits of Devastation, where my primary goal is to just run around this map and to explore a few different areas and gain some experience along the way. Where once we reach level 79, we do unlock chapter 8 of the personal story, which we just recently completed chapter 7 last episode, and we will be getting back into the story, but I'm going to take several episodes to do some different things around Guild Wars 2 as we approach chapter 8, where we have several dungeons left to complete, and we have some open world content and Frostgorge Sound and an ore to work on as well. So I'm going to be progressing all of that. But anyways, let's go ahead and adventure forward, where I did go over to this area on my Char Thief earlier, and I wanted to come this way and explore it on my Savari Necromancer, where we have this waypoint right here, and we have a little area right here, Half Circle Cove, a kind of fun area. There's a launch pad here that can take you off in the distance. There's a risen galleon somewhere, but we have this tunnel right over here, which I was talking about, that we can go ahead and explore, where this is kind of just like a classic ancient ruin right around here. There's an empty bottle and a bunch of insects and different critters in here. A very scenic location known as the Underbelly, and this does provide a passage for the Pact to get through this little mountain area right here where we came from Fort Trinity, and now we are on the other side, and this is a very dangerous area, and we can run up to Signal Peak here with a lot of people talking. And we have the field hospital that we explored last time, which there's actually somebody here doing this event, and my sound is very loud for me personally. I think it's decently fine, or at least normal for everyone else. But let's go ahead and run up here. Let's try to grab all these risen, and we can just clear out this area. Where a big theme, as I was talking about with the Straits of Devastation and the rest of Ore, is that this is an event-heavy area, where the primary form of content in these maps are events. And there's of course a bunch of other stuff as well, but we are primarily looking at some different events all around here as we run around the world. And I do want to focus mostly on map completion, and I won't be looking at every event in the game, of course, but we can still take a look here and there. Some corrupted agents, a corrupted scholar, there are some risen thralls all around here, corrupted explorer, only a few more undead left to defeat. Let's try to just throw down our AoE fields indiscriminately right here. Can try to get as many of the risen inflicted with conditions as possible. Look at all that life force coming in, and that experience coming in. 2 more undead, and we have reclaimed the field hospital. Let's run up here really quickly. A nice little staging area where this agent is now a merchant, so we can sell some stuff if we desired. And let's go ahead and jump back down here and continue this way, where we have the entrance to the Northern Assault on Ore. So we have like 3 different paths through Ore that we can follow, and we have Signal Peak right here, the beginning of the Northern Invasion, where Breastclaw Landing remains in control of the Pact. They remain alert for more risen, where it looks like they have already progressed all the way into Ore with this event chain, which is kind of exciting. So let's go ahead and follow in their footsteps. And I'm not going to really go through Ore in a very like systematic way. I'm probably just going to really just like let myself loose and go explore a bunch of things, and we'll probably like loop back and forth a bunch. So let's go ahead and go this way. You see this Orion ruin right here, the Lost Conservatory. We have a veteran right around this hero challenge. Let's go ahead and try to get this as we swim towards Ore. Pretty easy fight. We can go ahead and commune with this hero challenge. I have a couple minions just attacking this risen clam right there. I want to swim out this way because there's another hero challenge right over here, and there are some spirits of sorrow hanging out. And you can see a packed submarine over by that waypoint. Let's go ahead and fight these spirits who are at a statue of Melandru, where Or is at an incredible location because there are so many different storylines going on. Where one of the biggest storylines is how Or and Ara and the Orian people were incredibly devout to the different human gods, where before the Exodus of the Gods there were 6 of them, and across Or we can find 6 massive temples, one to each of those gods. And with the Exodus of the Gods, they departed from Tyria because they went to war with one of themselves, where we have the human gods of Lissa, Melandru, Grinth, Balthazar, and Duena, and the 6th god was Abaddon, where the human gods gifted magic to the humans of Tyria, whom they brought to Tyria from some other realm of existence. So technically humans are like aliens, but the gift of magic to the humans of Tyria basically caused a lot of wars and power struggles and just devastation across the human kingdoms, where King Doric, a very ancient human, traveled to Ara, to the pantheon of the gods, and basically begged the gods to take some of the magic from Tyria and to basically like store it away so that the humans wouldn't have access to all of the magic, so that there would be less of a power struggle. And the gods agreed except for Abaddon, where Abaddon basically went rogue against the human gods. And there's a lot of different stories and like pieces of lore connected to this, but ultimately Abaddon was defeated and imprisoned, where we then see the events of the original Guild Wars, where we have the Nightfall campaign, where Abaddon is a major villain in that campaign, and we learn that he was basically behind the events of the first 2 campaigns in Guild Wars and is ultimately like the final big boss of the Guild Wars story, if you exclude Eye of the North and kind of view that as like a segue into Guild Wars 2. Where we see the Elonian hero Cormyr basically take a lot of the magic from Abaddon, who was imprisoned but not like fully defeated or killed at the time, and eventually was killed by Cormyr and a group of traveling adventurers who may or may not be you. And Cormyr basically took that power and ascended to godhood herself, where we now see 6 gods in Tyria, the 5 that I was talking about earlier, minus Abaddon plus Cormyr. But Or was destroyed during the events of the original Guild Wars, where we see like the kingdom of Ascalon become attacked by the Char, and the Char essentially just obliterated Ascalon, and we're marching upon Kryta and Or as well to take those human kingdoms, where Kryta was able to defeat the Char by the help of the White Mantle and the Mersat. But Or was sunken beneath the waves by one Vizier Kilbron, who was an incredibly powerful human like magus, and just doomed his entire kingdom to be sunken beneath the waves, which essentially destroyed the kingdom of Or, but also prevented the Char from being able to take Or. So, you know, you killed everyone, but at least the Char didn't get Or. And then we see before the events of Guild Wars 2, the elder dragon Zaitan, who happened to be living in Or for all this time, which is why Or is so like magically inclined, and like the Orians were some of the most powerful like spellcasters in all of Tyria, is because they were in such close proximity to Zaitan, who possesses like so much magic, so they kind of like tapped into that a little bit. But Zaitan arose as the elder dragons were awaking from their slumber of 10,000 years, and as Zaitan arose, he brought Or up with him. So we see the area of Or be an incredibly interesting area, because if we look all around us, we see the remains of an ancient human empire who were incredibly like magically inclined and had giant massive monuments to the human gods. And then we see with that empire was sunken beneath the waves and was basically underwater for like 200 years or whatever, which provided time for like, you know, boats to crash and sink beneath the waves, and for like coral to like grow, and for different like aquatic like plants and stuff to basically like, you know, spread across the ruins. So as we travel across Ore, we will see like these ancient human ruins with like a bunch of like undersea plant life on it. But on top of all that, it was then risen above the waves. So we are currently like sitting on a dry ground, and we see like ancient Orient ruins with that aquatic sea life. But it was risen by an undead dragon, and he and his army are all undead. So basically most of the occupants around here are undead as well. Which, having an entire kingdom that was basically instantly killed, where the kingdom was sunk beneath the waves, essentially into a dormant graveyard, provides an undead dragon with a lot of material to use for his own armies. So we see a ton of Risen around here, and we'll see a ton of like Orient based Risen with some ancient like Orient priests and kings and whatnot all around here. But one additional part of that goes back to the Orient construction of different temples to the human gods, where we have 6 of those temples, one of which is exclusive to the story, which we will explore soon, but the other 5 have some story surrounding them in different parts of the chapter 8 story, but are also meta events, where we also have statues to the different human gods, like this Melandri statue, which is actually labeled on the map here. And when Guild Wars 2 originally released and we had servers, a really fun thing here is that the statues would be active, and they would basically be like a dangerous area to be in, where like the Melandri statues would... Oh, we leveled up to level 79, that's very cool. The Melandri statues would basically like root you and cause like conditions and whatnot. The Balthazar statues would cause like fire and whatnot, but they were directly connected to their respective temple. So when the temple of Melandri was basically captured by Pact forces and like deactivated, all of the statues in the Straits of Devastation, Makr's Leap, and the Cursed Shore would become deactivated as well. But then we see the introduction of mega servers, where there are many different instances of each individual map, and the maps are no longer connected to each other. So basically it's impossible for this Melandri statue to be affected by the Temple of Melandri, which is in another map, the Cursed Shore. So they had to change it up, where the statues in an individual map are now connected to the temples in that map, where the Straits of Devastation has only one temple for us that is a meta event, and that is the Temple of Balthazar, a pretty cool meta event if I do say so myself, which the Temple of Balthazar is currently in Pact control. So all of the statues, the Balthazar statues, we've got a Grenth one there, there's a Melandru, some more Balthazar and Melandrus, and a Duena one, all across the map are basically deactivated for us right now. And I think that's kind of just like a fun little thing that goes on in this game that I enjoy a lot, and it's a fun little detail in Ore. Which, speaking of Ore, I was on a very long rant about random stuff. We have made landfall, where we basically swam across the sea from all the way over there, and we are now in Ore, and it is magnificent. And let's go ahead and explore some areas around here. I leveled up to level 79, so we got 26 hero points, and we can learn about ascended gear, some of the best gear in the game, and we got some crafting materials related to that. And we also unlocked chapter 8 of the personal story, which doesn't look like we actually have access to. The episode will become playable on level 80. Is that 79? I think I talked about it being weird in a recent video. I'm not sure. I guess we do have to wait until level 80 to start exploring that. That's a very interesting like error, I suppose. But let's go ahead and just ride this way, and we can see this area is just so unique compared to everything else that we have explored so far, and I love that so much because it's like a massive like change of pace. You have Elysium Beach, where there are a bunch of areas all around here, but I want to get to the safest part of this map, the Pact rally point, or the forward point, which I think we can see right over there. There's a Risen Despoiler running up here. That was really cool seeing the dragon through that hole in the wall. But we can run through here, where there's this turret and this explorer protecting here, a Skrit right there next to an Asuran, and we can enter into this area where we have this waypoint, the Pact rally point, where there is a hero challenge in here. So let's go ahead and chat with this tactician, and we can go ahead and challenge ourselves in a fight. So he just evaded all my attacks here. That was actually very good on his part. Try to throw down as much as possible. And then just burn him. Pretty easy to kill, he's just a little tanky, a lot of health, and we don't deal too much damage, but a decent amount. But we have completed this hero point. Looks like he had like a dying sound there, but he did not die. And we have a scout right here we can go ahead and chat with.
This rally point has become a crucial staging ground for packed forces who've made landfall in Ore. From here, pack leaders will be taking our forces further south towards the heavily guarded Altar of Betrayal, home to one of Zaitan's powerful minions. We need to capture that altar and remove the dragon's minion to disrupt our enemy's hold on Ore.
So this is just a fun location that is important for the meta, where we do have the 3 different invasions, and they all lead to here where they can meet and then head towards Triumph Plaza towards the Temple of Balthazar, which we can go ahead and explore some of the areas around here. We have a vista right up here that's actually like a little bit trickier to get to compared to some other vistas. Ultimately just like a relatively easy jumping puzzle, where I think we want to jump to here and then right over to here. And then we can see some of that lovely sea life that has grown here. We can get a nice view of this entire area, where we have a beautiful shot right there of the Temple of Balthazar with a massive statue of Balthazar. Let's just go ahead and just run up here really quickly and take a look at this vista. A very cool shot there, the packed rally points. Let's go ahead and run down here. And then we have the ancient century of Balthazar statue, which I think this is going to spawn a boss fight. So let's go ahead and clear this ember first. Then we should try to heal up afterwards. There's so many different Orient forces all around here. Let's run this way. Let's go ahead and release the energies within, where we have a risen spectral juggernaut, some like magical weapons. They're going to attack the ember and the ember over there, which is interesting. Let's try to deal damage to all of them. The one over there is actually taking quite a bit of damage from the ember. I have a lot of dots on this juggernaut. Let's just run this way. Try to kill this juggernaut. One more minion kill, so we just have this one left. And the ember which is also attacking us. And there we go. A hero challenge gained. Alright, let's go ahead and explore the Temple of Balthazar. I think it would be cool to come up this way. Another player's up here. And this is a very difficult part of the meta. We have like one big escort, where you have to escort a bunch of packed troops up here, and then we have a couple of events up here. But just escorting the troops up here is just incredibly difficult, and was very, very difficult back in the day. But we have the glorious victory waypoint, which is only accessible when this temple is taken, and the altar of betrayal point of interest itself, and the statue of Balthazar that we can go ahead and commune with to get a hero challenge or point, where there are a lot of hero challenges in this map. And we have one of the most important karma merchants in the game, where we can buy a ton of obsidian shards, and we can also buy exotic armor, level 80 exotic armor, where this is a very powerful armor, and this is a nice area to come to if you have like a ton of karma, just to buy some armor to help out your character's like gearing process a little bit, where we can see like some of the different light options that we have available for us. We got this garb here, and this might be something that we look towards in the future a little bit. Let's continue this way, and we just have so many different areas to explore. Let's go ahead and come and get this hero point right over here. Since the statues are deactivated, we should definitely try to get this hero point, since it is right next to just a statue. Or there's something right there, and you can completely ignore this when it happens. You'll kind of see what exactly happened in a future video that I've been working on, but ultimately it's just a little bit of a spoiler, and you can ignore it for now. We'll get to it at some point. There's Spark right here, the statue of Duena. Duena being a goddess that is deeply connected to air, so sparks kind of being around this statue makes a lot of sense, where we saw like the different like embers around the statue of Balthazar, which that makes a lot of sense because Balthazar is deeply connected to fire. Got that hero challenge, and now let's just run this way for a second. We can come up here and grab this waypoint. There's also a point of interest over here. We are at Hunter's Table, another very cool area. So of course you can kind of see how this entire location used to be basically a massive like metropolitan area where a lot of people just like lived all across Ore. So we see like a lot of like remains of like roads and like different offshoots up to different buildings and plazas and whatnot. Just a very, very cool environment. We have the ending of another one of the arcs through Ore, Conquest Marina. Let's grab this waypoint. And then from here, maybe I could come back over towards this side. And let's go ahead and explore the northwestern corner. We're getting very close to level 80, and I want to try to reach level 80 in a specific spot. Let's go ahead and come this way, and I'm going to be very careful not to get too much experience because I don't want to reach level 80 right this second. Let's go ahead and run up here where we have a point of interest in this very cool area right here. And let's go ahead and run this way. I was taking quite a bit of damage. There's also a very powerful Risen right here. And I might have to come back for this hero point. There's so many dangerous enemies all around here. Let's go ahead and run over here. I have some confusion taking damage to me. Drop down here where we have this waypoint and a Lion Guard boat here, which is very cool. A Packed Galleon, where we've gotten a lot of the point of interests and whatnot around here. There's one up here that's very special, and then we can come back for this hero challenge. But let's come over here for a little bit because I want to spend some time up in this corner because there are a couple of cool areas we can explore, and then we can go ahead and officially ding level 80, where the first cool location is at this waterfall right here, which I pointed out. And I love the mushrooms here and like the stone pillars. But right up here is an artichoke farm, which is kind of fun to see. And we can harvest the artichokes if we want, and we can actually get the artichokes, which is nice. These are the first artichokes I have gotten in Guild Wars 2, so that's kind of exciting. I don't have any in my material storage, and now we have 3. There is this Risen Plague Bear that's dealing damage to us, and a jungle grub that decided to join the fight since I attacked it. But over this way, we should be able to find an entrance to a very cool area, and I can never remember where the exact opening is. Pretty sure it's this way, so let's run over here a little bit more. And it is right here where we have the road that goes down here, but if you look right here, there is an opening in these rocks, and we can go ahead and run through here to explore a tiny little cave system which leads to a very special spot. Let's go this way. It is a loop, so we can go up this side first, and we can just run all the way through here to discover this door, which is an incredible door because this leads to one of the bloodstones, incredibly powerful stones that we can find in a few different places around Tyria. And if you go back to what I was talking about earlier with how King Doric pleaded for the gods to basically take away some of the magic, we see that they did that because they found an incredibly powerful artifact that was used by the race known as the Seers, who no longer exist, where they created an artifact known as the Shadow Stone to be able to store magic for different purposes that we might talk about more in the future. But the human gods basically found the Shadow Stone and then channeled a bunch of the magics of Tyria into it and created the Bloodstone, where they then threw the Bloodstone into the heart of the volcano here in the Ring of Fire at Abaddon's Mouth, and the volcano basically exploded and destroyed the Bloodstone in a sense where it shattered the Bloodstone into different parts, and it spread all across Tyria, where we see one prominent one that is located in the Maguma jungle, which was an important part of the original Guild Wars campaign, but there's another one that is located like right up here, and the entrance to that spot is here, which is really, really cool. And we cannot explore it in Guild Wars 2, but we might be able to one day. We can run back down this loop this way, back towards this entrance here, and then we can continue on with our adventures. I suppose we have enough experience left to get. We can go ahead and run back here to try to get this hero challenge. It was bugging me a little bit just because it's the only thing we have left in this specific area. So let's go ahead, run up here, and try to come in from a better angle where there is still the Acolyte of Lissa, and we could try to fight if necessary. Where we could also maybe try to run up here and then jump up here, and we are kind of in like a safe spot right here where the Lissa's Acolyte is doing shenanigans over there, but we can drop down here and commune with the place of power. That worked out well for us, and let's just waypoint out of here. It's a stealth mission. Now I want to take some time to just kill some enemies around here because we are getting very, very close to level 80, and this is always a big moment in Guild Wars 2 because once you reach level 80, basically the entire game begins, where the level 1 to 80 experience is basically like a massive tutorial that introduces you to the game. And in Vanilla Guild Wars 2, it was a big part of the game, and there is a lot of like content to do along the way, and we have been exploring a lot of content along the way. But everything added to Guild Wars 2 after the original release of the game is for level 80 players, and you can access it once you reach level 80 and you do like various things to get to like different specific pieces of content. And of course, I am playing the game in chronological order, so we are still going to have a bunch of stuff left in Vanilla Guild Wars 2 as we finish up our adventures here after we reach level 80. So we are still going to be doing a ton of stuff all around here, including in areas that are below level 80, because this is like a level 71 area technically, and we are scaled down to level 72 right now. But I think reaching max level in a video game for like the first time ever is always like super, super exciting. And I remember my first time reaching level 80 in Guild Wars 2 because I have my human engineer character that I created and then eventually deleted at like level 43ish, which I unfortunately do not have anymore because I did delete that character. And I quickly created a Savari Guardian just like a couple months after my human engineer, or like 1 month after my human engineer actually, and that character ended up becoming my main character, which you see in a ton of my videos, where that is like the main character that I play on my account. And I do play, you know, other characters as well, but nowhere near as much as that character. And that character is the character that I reached level 80 on for the first time ever. And I don't remember the exact mob I killed or like the exact specific spot I was like standing, but it was like right around in like this area right here. I remember, maybe it was like even up here or something, but I'm pretty sure it was like right here. So I thought it would be fun on this character, my Savari Necromancer, who is going to be my first level 80 on this account and in this Let's Play series. I thought it would be fun to reach level 80 here in this spot that I originally reached level 80 on all the way back in like 2012, 2013 on my main Guardian character. So kind of just like following in, you know, my footsteps from 12 years ago now. And when we reach level 80, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about, and I will be talking about it a lot in the future as well, but we can go ahead and explore some of it right as I reach level 80. I suppose since we're just killing a bunch of enemies, let's pop this experience booster to speed up this process a little bit, since I got through all the rambling I wanted to ramble about. And we will be able to use this experience booster once we reach level 80, because experience is still going to be useful, because we will be unlocking the mastery system where we can unlock a bunch of different masteries. And if we are not able to progress a current mastery because we don't have enough points, once we unlock all the different masteries, we can earn spirit shards by gaining experience, which is that important currency for in-game crafting, specifically related to the Mystic Forge. So at all times, experience is useful and never wasted, because you're either leveling up to level 80, or you're progressing some masteries, or you're earning spirit shards, in that order pretty much. a couple of jungle raptor hatchlings here. We're getting a lot of experience now that we pop this booster. Let's go ahead and kill these two. I don't think these two are going to make us hit level 80. If we kill one, that's quite a bit of experience. And then this one here, another bit. I think we are 1 to 2 kills away, where there are some undead attacking the Simoth here. Let's go ahead and start attacking them. We have a Risen Despoiler that we can go ahead and start laying siege to. Let's go ahead and throw a bunch of conditions onto this enemy. And then let's go ahead and use our Ghastly Claws to do some more damage. We kill the Simoth and the Despoiler. And now we have this Putrefier, and I think this is going to be the enemy. Let's go ahead and start attacking. Use our special attack there. And reach level 80. What a cool moment. We got an achievement for reaching level 80, and with that achievement we got a mastery point, and we have our final level up reward where we unlock so much stuff. We can now learn about elite specializations, fractals of the mist, road versus road, player versus player, living road, raids. We got an obsidian shard and some spirit shards, and we have unlocked so much more, and we just progressed like so many achievements because we just got like some special items. But if you take a look at our experience bar, it has now changed to this. And we have so much to talk about. Okay, let's go ahead and check our mail, where we have a dazzling new attraction on Alliance Arch. Wish you can pause to read this. This is kind of a spoiler for a little bit further into the game, and we will go over this later. What do I want to talk about first? We have unlocked the mastery system, so let's go ahead and open this, where we can click on our experience bar, or we can come to it in our hero panel, where we can see the achievement we got there, and we can look at our masteries, where we have Central Terra masteries, and we have masteries related to different expansions, where we also have Soto and Janthir Wilds, which I'm not sure why they're not showing up here. But we can start exploring some of this stuff, where there's also going to be individual stuff hidden until we unlock it as well. And we can't even look at like Path of Fire until we complete the first story step. But through Vanilla Guild Wars 2 into Living Road Season 1 and Living Road Season 2, we are going to be exclusively looking at Central Terra masteries, and everything else is something to look at in the future, where we have 3 different mastery tracks: Pact Commander, that's us, Legendary Crafting, and Fractal Attunement. Fractal Attunement is directly connected to Fractals in the Mist, and I'll just hover over these really quickly. I'll earn these at some point probably, and it's just important stuff for Fractals, but I'm not planning on doing too many Fractals on this account in this Let's Play series. We then have Legendary Crafting, which is kind of the same deal, but this is connected to creating legendary weapons, where I'll unlock this at some point, but I'm not really planning on looking at a bunch of legendary crafting on this account in the future, just because that's not really something I'm interested in. I care more about like the content, and I will be able to get through that content with like Ascended gear, where if I were to make a legendary, I'd rather do it on my main account. But then we have the Pact Commander, and this is the really cool like chain that we are going to be completing first, where we have Pact Mentor, which is the first thing that we can learn, where we can learn to be a mentor to the heroes of Tyria, gaining a special mentoring badge, chat title, and swiftness for you and your party in all cities. We have Productive Downtime, learn to be more efficient and gain bonus experience when crafting, so this is actually really nice to help us level up some aughts. Supply Line Management, gain access to a network of regional merchants across Tyria with a limited supply of rare goods for trade, and increase our party's swiftness bonus in cities to 15%, so that basically goes on to our Pact Mentor there. Where if you look here, we actually have a Pact Supply Network Agent, which I noticed earlier, which we will unlock this merchant once we get this. But then we have, I never know how to pronounce this, Nobilis Oblige, I'm not entirely sure. Learn to revive your allies faster and with less penalties, and this is incredibly nice to have, especially in combat. And then we have Advanced Logistics, learn to automatically pick up loot from fallen foes and gain a greater swiftness bonus for your party in cities. This is so nice because whenever we kill an enemy, the loot that they drop is going to go straight into our inventory, so we don't have to worry about that at all. Except for a couple areas in the game where you do have to manually loot things, like certain chests, like at Triple Trouble you have to loot the chest, or at the Chalk Garret boss fight if you're like super far away from the chest when that boss fights. That's in a future expansion. But basically we have to gain a ton of experience, where with the first one we need to get 635,000 experience, which is basically like leveling up 3 times from what we saw from like level 79 to 80 to get this, and each one is going to require more experience and more points, where we will become mastery level 1. We are currently level 0, where once we put this in we will gain a level which just resembles how many mastery points or masteries in general we have earned. And we currently have 21 points. So if we do some quick math of 3, 6, 11, 19, we can completely fill out the Pact Commander tree. And then we could put a point in here, and we're going to have to learn or earn some more mastery points in order to continue our adventures through this tree and then into this tree. And then when we get to Heart of Thorns, basically everything starts at 0 again, and we can earn Heart of Thorns specific masteries with mastery points and earn experience on Heart of Thorns maps specifically, where in this map we will only earn experience towards these 3 mastery tracks, and we cannot earn experience in this map for like other things. Next, I have noticed that I have unlocked the Wizard's Vault, which we kind of saw a little bit of earlier, and I have 1010 Astral Acclaim, where we can get our login reward here, and we can begin to complete dailies every day, where every time we complete a daily we do earn 1 gold plus some other stuff including Astral Acclaim, so this is nice to work towards. We also have these weeklies that we can work on, and completing the weeklies will get us a ton of Astral Acclaim. And then we have some special stuff that we can do as well related to the current season of content that has been introduced into Guild Wars 2, where we can come down to the legacy rewards here to see the rewards from past seasons, where it started with Soto, and we have some Janthier Wild stuff, and I cannot currently get it because I do not currently have the expansions on this account. But these never go away, so you can always like earn these items in the future as you get Astral Acclaim, but they are more expensive compared to when you could originally get them. And then this big tab right here, the Astral Rewards, where we can go ahead and get a bunch of items here, which requires Janthier Wilds. But we do have all of these things down here that we can look at, where there is a ton of stuff that we can buy, and there are some different things that you could like decide you want to get, where I definitely think getting like the legendary weapon starter kit is fun if you're looking at like jump starting your legendary weapon journey, and getting all the cosmetics up here is fun. But in my opinion, if you were to prioritize getting like anything, it would be these mystic coins, which you can buy 60 of, and then these bags of coins, which you can buy 90 of. And you can buy more bags of coins down here, but they are more expensive. But getting these 2 will net you a ton of gold, where we also have these mystic clovers here, which we can buy 20 of, and this is important for legendary weapon crafting, which I'm not really planning on doing on this account, so this is not really worth it for me. Where there are some like other things that are nice depending on like what you specifically need. But getting the Wizard's Ascended Armor Chest and Weapon Chest is probably going to be something that we'll look at in the future ourselves, and this is a nice easy way to get some Ascended gear in Guild Wars 2, which will help you out in your adventures. But if you look at the Mystic Coins here, we can go ahead and just buy all of these up, where we do have a new season coming soon from when I am recording this, and I think the season will actually be out by the time I edit and upload this video. So when the new season comes out, you will be able to buy like all these mystic coins again, and everything will refresh. And at the top here, there's going to be new rewards as these ones rotate to the legacy track. And these don't rotate to the legacy track, they just get straight up reset. But we can buy those 60 coins there, and we can see in our inventory we currently have 49 gold, and waiting for us in the trading post we have 11 silver and 25 copper. And if we come right over here to these mystic coins, we can begin selling them, where we can only sell them in like stacks of 11 because that's what's currently being ordered at this time. But as I get through all of the orders, we can sell them all and see that we can now have 111 gold waiting for us, meaning I just like tripled the amount of gold I currently have. So this is definitely worth it, which I can then also buy these as well, which I think is going to be useful for us, especially since we can spend gold to buy some armor, which I'll look at in the future, probably not for a few weeks. And we can look at completing some of the special objectives in the Wizard's Vault in the future, and I might do some off camera as well just to earn some rewards on this account. Where I just bought a bunch of bags of gold, 75 exactly, so 75 gold here. So I started with like 45 gold or however much, and now I'm at 130 basically. Where if I come to a trading post, I don't think there's one in this map. Let's come back up here to Lion's Arch for a quick moment. As I enter Lion's Arch, I got a bunch of pop-ups, including this Elite Specializations one that you can pause to read if you would like. And also got this pop-up that I have unlocked some story where I have no idea why. Oh, that's an old bug actually, I think. That's kind of funny, we just got that. But I got 2 mail here where this is related to some content that we can go and do, and synergetics field testing where this is related to special ascended crafting that we can do, I think. Oh, this is actually connected to getting some special weapon skins, which I unlocked on my main account a long time ago and completely forgot about this. So we can go ahead and just hold on to that. But what I came to Lion's Arch for is we can run right over here where we have the trading post, of course, and we can go ahead and pick up our coins to get an achievement actually. So let's just run in here, chat with you, get this, and we have gotten the Gold Hoarder achievement where we need to hold 200 gold at the same time, where we got the achievement golden for this, which I think is really fun. We got 40 achievement points as we did that. Well, that's a ton of achievement points. And we do now have the title golden, which let's go ahead and rep that since we did earn it through the Wizard's Vault, where we got a ton of gold in that way. And now, as a fresh level 80, we currently have 230 gold on our account just from all the different things we have been doing, as I have earned some astral acclaim as I've been leveling up. Apparently, I've never really focused on like getting anything specifically, and it must have been just ticking away in the background. But now that we are level 80, we have so much stuff to do all around Tyria and so many different things to do. Oh, we also have the story that we can continue with the Temple of the Forgotten God. But I'm going to spend the next several episodes doing a bunch of different things, some dungeons, and we can explore some of Frostgorge Sound, and then I can continue exploring Straits of Devastation and some of the things that we should be thinking about now that we are level 80. So we are kind of approaching at the end of Vanilla Guild Wars 2 with the personal story, but we still have so much stuff to talk about with that, and we have so much stuff to talk about in the future, where I hope y'all enjoyed watching this episode of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, because this was so cool to finally reach level 80, and I hope y'all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in the Road of Tyria. Goodbye.